What's the best advice you've ever given that you regret? I'll go first. So many times when people have come to me and told me that they've got this big, amazing story that they want to tell, that they've been working on for years, it's their magnum opus, it's going to be a 300 issue something or other, and they can't wait to get started on it. Will you please draw my pages for free? I'll give you a cut of the toy sales someday when it becomes a movie, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, A, no, I don't work for free. And B, my advice has always been, don't start on your baby. Don't start on your magnum opus. Don't start on your passion project that means the most to you, because your first book is going to suck. You're going to make a lot of mistakes along the way. Making comics is really hard. You need to find out if you can do this. You need to find a good team that you can work with. You need to find artists that you can depend on, because the people that jump up and say, oh yeah, I want to help out and do your comic book for free, are going to be the people that are going to bail on you. You don't want to start on your passion project, your baby, just to have it wither on the vine because your artists flake out on you or you make a bunch of mistakes in the process. All kinds of things can go wrong. My advice was always start with something small. Start with little short stories and things that are easy to get published in somebody else's anthology, things that are easy to get completed. Do that. Get your feet wet, learn what you're doing, and then move over to doing your passion project. And this is advice that I followed. This is advice that I lived by. So when it was time to step out and try my hand at making comics, I decided to do my very first crowdfunder for comics. I did T-Man and Hyperstrike, about a superhero team with Tourette syndrome and ADHD. Now, it wasn't just a cop-out. I loved the story. I loved the characters. I grew up with Tourette syndrome and ADHD. I wanted to inspire kids like me to find the hero in themselves, to focus on all the things that make us awesome, like my brilliant creative mind that lets me knock out all these comic books so quickly, and not just focus on the ticks that people are going to laugh at. And it got an amazing response. Everybody loved it. I sold 400 copies in like 6 months without even hardly trying. It was great. And then very quickly, I became very busy doing everybody else's books behind me. And in the 5 years since I launched T-Man and Hyperstrike, I'm on like book 87 now, I think, 87 or 88. Since then, I've knocked out a lot of books. When time came around again, that I was going to start carving out more time to do my own stories, I thought about doing Alice Lost in Wonderland. I thought about doing this story again, but it's my passion project. It's my baby. I didn't want to, I was too scared to step out with it and potentially fail. That was too terrifying. So I decided to do another story that I loved, that I worked really hard on, that was another project that I deeply loved, but I thought it might be an easier sell. I thought it would be easier to put Green Zone out there into the world. If Green Zone died on the vine, it would hurt, but not like losing my Alice story. And so I put Green Zone out there, and it did pretty well. And it got some more fans coming my way and liking my work and asking about the next project. And when things got slowed down at the publisher and I couldn't get the books out as fast as I needed to, I pivoted to doing Caw for a little bit to make money in between the Green Zone books. And Caw did really well, and people liked that. And I love the story, and it is so much fun to work on. But I still had this project in my heart that I was desperate to be able to tell. And now I'm 13 books into 4 different series of my own, 87, 88 books down the road, and I haven't told my passion project story, Alice Lost in Wonderland. And as I started putting bits of Alice into my anthology series, Fishtails, that's the story that everybody responded to. That's the story that everybody hit me up and was like, dude, I gotta have more Alice. Alice is freaking amazing. I need to see more of that. And that just gave me so much joy because I've been working on this story for 30 years. I've had these characters rattling around in my brain for decades, building their lives and their intertwined relationships. And it's become this amazing, interwoven, beautiful tapestry. And I'm so proud of it. But it was still all in my head. Nobody else was getting to see it. And it terrifies me, the thought that we don't know how long we have on this world. And the thought of potentially being gone and I never got to tell the story that I really wanted to tell, it kills me. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine trying to decide what book I was going to work on next. And he asked me a lot of hard questions that I hadn't ever answered out loud before. And he's like, well, which one do you really want to tell? Which book would you like to spend your life telling? Green Zone or Caw or this other book that you're talking about? What is it? And I was like, honestly, none of them. If I'm going to spend the rest of my life telling one story, I want it to be the Alice story, because that's the story that I deeply love the most. I love all my books. They're all my children. But this story is like my lover. Like this has been with me the majority of my life. And so much of who I am, my hopes and my dreams and my pains and my failures and my disappointments are all woven into this story over the years. And it is my passion project. It is the story that I want to tell, I want to give to the world. It's the one story that I would be proud to have outlived me. It's a story I want to leave to the ages. And I realized it's time I need to tell my story. It's time I need to get it out there. And now I'm kicking myself that I didn't start with that. I'm kicking myself. I love T-Man and Hyperstrike. I love Green Zone. I freaking love Caw. Caw has been one of the most fun projects to ever work on. But I wish I had been brave enough to just do my Alice story in the beginning. I wish I'd been brave enough to do it in the beginning and I could be 13 books into Alice instead of 13 books into 4 different series. I wish I had been brave enough to just step up and do my book. And I could be 80-something books into Alice instead of 80-something books into everybody else's books. I have made so many amazing friends. I've made so many great connections. I have made new family members out of working on these projects with people. Some of these people are closer than blood to me, and I love them. They kept the lights on, kept my kids fed during COVID. I will never forget these guys. But I gotta tell the story. It has been burning a hole in my heart for 30 years. It's killing me that I haven't been able to tell the story yet. And I cannot tell you how emotional, how moving it's been to get to draw characters that have been in my heart for 30 years. Put them on the page, knowing that they're going to get published, people are going to read it, and people have been loving it. It's like it's given my life more purpose than I ever thought it was going to have. It brings me so much joy. It means so much to me. And that's why I'm doing this. That's why I hope you'll want to join the journey with me. I hope you'll want to go on this trip with me. Because it's going to be an amazing ride, baby. And you're not going to want to miss it. So I hope you'll go to Go Mr. Fish. I hope you'll back the book. If you get in the first 48 hours of it going live on July 18th, you'll get a free double-sided poster, plus all the extra freebies that get added on week after week after that. If you miss the first 48 hours, but you get in the first week, you'll get a free mini comic that shows the first time Alice meets Big Ten. It's an awesome story, and I really hope you'll take the journey with me. I hope to see you there. Your Uncle Fishy loves you.